Welcome back to the trail. This weekend we are on the Seneca Creek Trail, and it is Labor Day weekend, so I want to make sure and wish all the expecting mothers out there a happy Labor Day weekend. The Monongahela National Forest. Do you have any idea how many times I've had to practice that pronunciation? At any rate, the forests of West Virginia are a mecca for backpackers, and there's a wide variety of trails to hike. I would rank this 10.1 mile hike as relaxing. It's an easy hike that boasts endless water sources and campsites everywhere. The Seneca Creek Trail is perfect for beginners or for those of you that are just looking to get away to the woods for a couple of days. First backpacking sectional I've ever seen. Pro tip from a hypocrite. If you get to a parking lot and it's full of cars, don't pass up beautiful campsites just so you can hike to the waterfall. Instead, set up camp at one of these beauties and then go to the waterfall. I intend to learn from this mistake, but on today's trip, we decided to just stop for a snack and then hike on. This trail is kind of like going to a concert of a band you don't really give a shit about, and then you leave a big fan. This is epic. Again, going back to my statement about beginners, there are so many beautiful, memorable looking campsites that we have passed in the first 4 miles. We still got about a little over a mile to go to the waterfalls where there's a bunch more. I'm assuming probably just as cool. At least we're taking that risk. Dumb. But wow. Seneca Creek for relaxing overnight, or even a weekend if you just want to hike a couple miles a day, is amazing. Do come prepared to get your feet wet and perhaps bring some trekking poles for stability. And what a great time to take a quick commercial break to talk about Jimmy's, the original foldable sandal. This is a luxury I rarely bring along, but I saw these on Instagram and they intrigued me, so I reached out and begged for a pair. And what do you know? They obliged. They take up very little room in your pack because they're foldable, and they're 5.4 ounces. Now here's the truth. I'm pretty clumsy in sandals, so I'm still going to test these for a while before I tell you much more about them. But boy, what a cool concept. Now let's hit those waterfalls and look for camp. We passed the beautiful waterfalls and came to the end of the line where there are campsites marked on the map. All occupied. So rather than stand around and not make decisions, we're going to head back the other direction and take the first one that's not occupied. So there's a lot of people down here, as we predicted. And ignored those predictions. Hey look, it's the waterfall again. And crossing the creek once again, but at least we were smart enough to gather some firewood, in case we do find a campsite. In the battle for tent sites, there were some open ones that were really beautiful. Tonight though, we're going to take this one because it's private and there's a lot of firewood around here. So we're going to dry out the shoes, show you some nifty new gadgets probably, and set up camp. Although we weren't creekside, we did have a really extraordinary bunch of visitors. I never get sick of deer for some reason, and these 4 white-tailed does strolled into camp very leisurely and loitered for about 15 minutes and came as close to 10 feet from us. So Seneca Creek. I mean, I knew it was popular, but I guess I should have thought about why. Now I know. It's beautiful. Not to mention, all of this water for the most part is spring water or spring fed, so it's ice cold and pretty crystal clear. I almost forgot. I'm getting a little tired of freeze-dried meals, so tonight we tried something new. You might know that I love Heresford shelf-stable meats. In addition to one of my favorites, the meatballs, I've now found barbecue beef ribs, and it's actually quite tasty. We mixed it with some Spanish rice and made some simple burritos. This is something I don't ordinarily bring on trail, and it's a simple lantern. But is it so simple? This isn't an ordinary lantern. This lantern runs on salt water. And I don't know how. Science! But let's see if it works.
Oh my God.
Now I'd say that's pretty neat. I'm gonna leave it on and see how much time it lasts with about, oh, I don't know, 3 ounces of water and a couple packs of salt. You can also urinate in this, I'm told, in emergencies, and maybe use things like elements or electrolytes, soda, anything with sodium. A staple in the normal camper's life, we brought s'mores on this trip, which left me wondering, this is not very heavy. Why don't we do this more often? "12 hours, still going." In the morning, the saltwater mixture looked like a gelatinous goo, but it was very easy to just dump out and it was immediately clean.
Just add water.
Add powdered milk or vanilla coffee creamer for easy cereal.
Oh no.
I would recommend brand name bags or freezer bags for this though.
Milk.
Now I'm a pretty picky eater when it comes to cereal and milk, and this is French vanilla coffee creamer powder. And if I say it's good and you're not picky, I almost guarantee you'll like this. Time to pack up camp and decide what's next. Don't be a yellow-bellied lint licker, and make sure to put out your fire. I got down into the low 40s last night. We were both cold. Due to a lack of campsites, we decided to hike out. But don't let that scare you away from Seneca Creek Trail. Keep in mind it was Labor Day weekend, and I'm sure certain weekends are busy here. But if you plan accordingly or come during the week, you're going to have a great experience. The big winner of the weekend is that saltwater lantern. We left it hanging outside the tent when we went to bed last night. Started at 7:30, and it was still going at 7:30 this morning. Again, with about 3 or 4 ounces of water and a couple of salt packets. So over 12 hours, and we didn't, it was still on, so I'm not sure how long it would last, but at least 12 hours.
And I didn't fall down the hill when I had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, like I did last week. 'Cause
Yeah.
I could see.
Little nightlight. It was really cool and pretty lightweight. I'll try to find, it's kind of a prototype, so I'll try to find a link if they're for sale yet and put that in the video description. So that's going to end our trip. It's just going to be an overnighter. Seneca Creek, 5 stars. We made it. Beautiful, beautiful trail. Again, beginners, if you're in this area, perfect. Or just for relaxing in general. Off to the next adventure. See you soon.